Hey guys, so I'm here today with the Hyundai Elantra 2018 in the GLS trim. We're just going to kind of walk around and take a little look of sort of the interior and exterior features that this car has. If it's something that you're interested in, it's an excellent choice for first-time car buyers, especially if you're just looking for a standard daily commuter. We're just going to do a quick sort of walk around tour of this vehicle. It's super popular with young drivers, especially for first cars, and I mean, having this vehicle for a week, I can absolutely understand why. So here's just a quick look at the exterior. We're going to kind of go around this, then take a look at the inside and some of the features that you guys are probably interested in finding out more about. What do you guys think about the styling? They redesigned this. I personally really like it. I think it looks good. The GLS model has these daytime LED running lights down here where the fog lights usually are. Really nice headlight assemblies. It just has an overall sense of being a lot more premium than a lot of people would probably expect in this class. We've got these beautiful wheels here on the side. Now these are an upgrade with the GLS package. They're not standard, but they're really, really beautiful. I think they accent the car nicely. You've got turn signals integrated into the side mirrors here. The sunroof comes on the GLS trim as well. You do have a proximity key, so let me just show you what that looks like. It's actually quite nice. Again, for Hyundai, I think they have sort of a bad rap when it comes to quality, but I think in recent years especially, they've really sort of stepped that up and they've really taken it to new heights. This key is heavy, it feels solidly put together and high quality. So with that proximity key just in my pocket here, as long as it's somewhere on your person, you can come up and actually just hit the button on the door handle here, and that'll unlock the vehicle for you without actually needing to press any of the buttons on the key. The same goes for locking the vehicle. As long as the key is on your person somewhere outside of the vehicle and you just touch that button once, it will automatically lock the car. So taking a look at the inside of the driver door here, you can see it's pretty simple, pretty modern design. You've got a nice sort of satin finish chrome strip along the door here, extending from the door handle. You've got an automatic up-down for your driver and four power windows, power adjustable side mirrors, lock and unlock, and then you've got okay sized door bins here, nothing crazy, and then obviously your speaker on the door there as well. So on the dashboard here you can see some of your safety controls. So you've got obviously your light settings for the interior lights, then you've got your blind spot detection that you can turn on and off, your lane keep assist, and as well as traction control. So the GLS also comes with leather interior, which I personally believe makes this vehicle feel just significantly more luxurious, again, especially for the class that it competes in. And now let's just step into the vehicle here. So you can see inside the vehicle here that again it follows that very modern, clean, simple design. Nothing too fancy, but again going with that proximity key, so just behind the steering wheel here you do have your push button start. So if you just place your foot on the brake here and press that button, the car will start up automatically, which is a really, really nice feature. Turn the volume down there so you guys can hear me. So just to kind of walk through some of the main stuff. So here on the steering wheel, you'll find controls for your audio. So you have volume up, down, switching tracks or tuning the radio. You have your call, answering and hanging up. Voice control, which this car also comes with Apple CarPlay. So if you have an iPhone compatible plugged in, then that button will actually then become sort of a Siri activation button. So mode, that will switch through sort of your sources. So that'll be from Apple CarPlay, like I mentioned, to radio or Bluetooth, depending. So then coming over to this side of the steering wheel, so this is more of your controls for your center information cluster as well as for your cruise control. So this is the cruise on-off button, and then this is like a toggle switch to set that up and down. This is for your dynamic radar cruise control, so that'll help you maintain a certain distance away from the vehicle in front of you. And that you can set, I believe there's 4 settings, and you can decide, how close you'd like to get to the vehicle in front. And then obviously your cancel button, so that is to turn cruise control off altogether. So this button here is going to control your center information display. So if you just see, if you hit that button once, it'll switch over to your lane keep assist display. So that's going to show you if there was a vehicle in front of you and how far away you are from them. This goes to your source, so whatever the audio playing currently is, and that will also display, song titles and artists. This takes you to your service intervals, so that'll help you just kind of keep track of maintenance that needs to be done on the car and when that needs to be done if you're due for anything. And finally, this takes you into settings. So this is a really interesting screen. There's lots of customizability within this vehicle. If you go into driving assist here, you can switch between all of these options, turning them on or off. And as well in a lot of them, so like this lane keep assist, you go into that menu, you can actually choose between standard as well as active. So the difference there is that standard will only correct your steering if it senses that you're veering outside of a lane, as opposed to active, which will sort of consistently regulate your steering and make sure that you're staying centered in the lane that you're in. And then if you hit it one more time, it takes you back to the sort of main standard screen. As you can see in the bottom corner there, so that is your lane keep assist icon. If the car can actually sense the lanes that you're in and see those lines, it will turn green. That icon will illuminate green. If you turn that off, that symbol just disappears altogether. So coming into the center stack here, the Hyundai infotainment, I have to say, is very responsive. I'm very, very impressed with that. As you can see here, you can flip between menus relatively quickly. You can also scroll, you use it almost like you would use a tablet or a smartphone, which I think is really important for vehicles these days to implement user-friendly interfaces that aren't more frustrating than they are helpful. So if we go back to the home screen here, as you can see in the audio, you can switch between radio stations and just sort of drag that to tune. As well, you have a tune knob here, actual physical knobs, as well as for the volume, so that's really nice. You have sort of your quick access buttons along the bottom here, so that'll let you choose between which radio or media you're listening to, as well as if you're making phone calls or if you have a Bluetooth connection. So this apps button will actually take you to a menu that shows you again that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are available in this vehicle, as well as SoundHound. So that's almost like a Shazam. So that'll help you if you hear a song that you'd like to know what it's called for later. That'll tell you what that is. As well as voice commands. Setup will take you into all your settings. So that includes for your sound, Bluetooth, everything that you'd need to ever kind of customize within this system. And then moving down here, so we have the climate controls. So you do have dual zone in this vehicle. It's a really nice feature again. So you have them synced up by this button here. If you turn that off, you can adjust the passenger and the driver, independently from one another. You have automatic climate control as well as changing the fan speed, and then obviously your rear and front defrosters. Moving down here, so if you actually push this back, that's where you'll be able to access your 12 volt as well as your auxiliary cord and USB. So that's really nice. You just push on that again, it slides back down. So in terms of this centerpiece here, if I can get the sun to kind of allow you to see what's going on. So you do have just your standard options in terms of an automatic transmission. There is a sport mode plus, so if you knock that over, it'll actually let you switch between gears, almost imitating a manual transmission if that's something that you'd like to try out. You do have heated seats for both the front passengers as well as a heated steering wheel. And then the drive mode here will actually let you switch between a few options. So you see that show up here. If I hit that once, it takes us into eco mode. So that's obviously going to be putting a focus on getting the best fuel efficiency for the vehicle and just making sure that you're you know, using as little fuel as possible. If you hit that once more, it puts you into sport mode. So I have to say that actually makes the driving dynamics for this vehicle significantly better. So you'll definitely feel that when you're coming from a stop, or just in terms of, you know, steering capabilities. It makes all of that more responsive and more fun to drive, really. And then if you hit that once more, it turns it off, and that just puts it into sort of the neutral or standard drive mode. Coming back down here, so you do have not an automatic park brake, not an electronic park brake rather. You'd have two pretty decent sized cup holders here. And then in the center console here, you just pop that up. And again, pretty decent size, nothing crazy in there, no ports or anything like that, no connectivity, but it's pretty decent. It's quite a bit of space. As you can see here in the back as well, the back seat doesn't have that much space for passengers, I will say that. But generally people aren't buying Hyundai Elantras to carry, you know, full carloads of people around. So in the middle here you have just sort of a standard rear view camera, and then you can just flip that back to make it, you know, better for night mode. And then up top you'll see you have a center sort of storage bin for sunglasses, and then dual lights on either side. So you do have a sunroof in this vehicle, which is really, really great. So if you just hit that once, it will automatically open all the way back. And if you push that again once, it'll bring the sunroof back. It does also tilt up, which is nice if you just want a little bit of sort of air circulation. And then you have your sliding cover just to keep the light. So I just want to kind of walk you guys around some of the other outside features here. So you do have your gas cap on the driver's side, and that can be opened inside. There's a little button down on the floor panel for the driver. Around the back here, you have this really neat feature. I'm going to see if I can get it to work for you guys here. It's called Smart Trunk. So it can tell, again with that proximity key, that I'm standing behind the vehicle, and it automatically just pops the trunk open for me there. So if you're coming up to the vehicle with your hands full and the key somewhere on your person, it can actually tell, and it will open that trunk for you. Now looking inside here, you can see you do have a very, very large amount of space, as well as the rear seats do fold back using these little pull tabs. So that's a really nice feature that they just unlock there, and then you can push the back seats down right from standing outside the vehicle. I'll just shut this again.